You know, it's a new season like we talked about earlier, and I have to up my ante. They need to understand, you know, I'm not new anymore. They're not new anymore. And, you know, the same level of competitiveness that has gotten me to this level as a player and a coach, they have to feel that.
Lucas eyes a three, lets it fly, bang! That's how you start off CAA play.
Yeah, you know, experiencing those 2 losses to start conference, I think also it's just a gut check time for us as a staff. What are we doing wrong? What can we change? What do we need to improve? How can we, you know, we can't lose another game. We have too much talent.
Kylie drops it off for Johnson. Johnson flip to Rivera. Rivera looks for 3. Bang!
It is now mid-January. 5 games into conference play, Towson are now setting off early for their next game. To give time for a shoot-around and to get plenty of rest before tip-off tomorrow, away at Delaware. As of right now, the girls are in a 3-game winning streak, having just beaten Monmouth, their longest since the beginning of the season, but fatigue is starting to set in. Over the coming games, Coach Harper will be looking to her bench to keep the intensity up through this busy period. The coaches have organized a games night to keep the teams together in the evening rather than apart in their hotel rooms. In the morning, they'll have a film session to brush up on their knowledge of Delaware's team.
There's 4 of us? Carter, you playing or what? I played Uno.
Gabby was the one who's first. We can't get certain games. Everyone take this stuff.
I didn't have a choice. What do you want me to do?
Should they beat Delaware tomorrow, it would be the first time since 2020. No current roster member has ever beaten Delaware in a Towson jersey. This will be the first meeting between the two sides since last season's CAA tournament semifinal, where the Blue Hens stole a victory with 0.4 seconds remaining in a heartbreaking defeat for the Tigers.
Out to Gary for 3. Bang! Towson takes the lead, 55-54. Clariana Gary hits a huge shot.
With just 0.4 seconds left, Delaware made their free throws and went on to become conference champions. Today, Towson come ready.
And we are underway at the Bob as Towson will start on offense.
And Towson still has that taste in their mouth. The players that are left, however, the coaching staffs have turned over.
It was the last game as head coach for Diane Richardson, who was as mad as I've ever seen a head coach. At the end of the game, they called a foul as Ty Skinner went up for a shot that missed. And out of the timeout, Sky Williams knocks down the jumper to bring the Tigers back within 1. Beat from the perimeter. Williams pull up, got it.
Yeah, Williams is taking what the defense gives her. She's hit a couple outside shots. She's gotten to the rim. Right now, she and Fulmar have a hot hand.
At this point, each Maze Prince missing from in tight. The long rebound starts the break. Nelson all the way. The teardrop goes.
And if you're Towson, you're feeling very fortunate right now. You're only down 7. You're not playing your best basketball, and Delaware keeping that door open for the Tigers.
Rivera got it. And Towson just like that, back within 5. 9 times. She's top 40 in the country in three-pointers made. It's Enumba, though, the open look, knocks it down, and a one-point game here in New Orleans.
And again, you see Cornegay Lucas impacting the game because she's drawing that attention, leaves another wide-open shot for her teammate.
Burdick gets it inside to Pippen, lost the handle, Williams to steal, and look out the other way. 3-on-2. Williams, brilliant feed, gets the layup for Fulmore, and Towson up for the first time since 2 minutes into the game. Stuck, got it back, couldn't hit, and Cornegay Lucas the flat-footed rebound. Nobody stops ball. She makes Delaware pay.
And that's been an issue in transition. No one's stopping the ball earlier. You can't allow a player in transition to get into the paint, and Cornegay Lucas read it perfectly. Nice little stop and pop.
But we knew she had some moxie when she's shushing the road crowd in her first ever college game. Although a layup here off the inbound for Ryan Evans.
That was such great recognition by Cornegay Lucas. She saw the mismatch with Item, a much smaller player, and then just threw the lob.
Go back to a 4-point Towson lead. Mace Prince, did you do it again? Are you kidding me?
That's a way to get the Bob Carpenter Center faithful to know your name.
Towson looking for the quick response. Williams the hard drive plus the foul.
You know, these two schools are less than an hour apart, pretty much down 95, and there's been some battles over the years, and kind of going shot for shot right now, but not only shot for shot, but they're trying to look good while they're making some of these shots as well.
Well, you know, these coaches square off on the recruiting trail all the time. The DMV so Pippen gets the screen from Scotchers. It's not free from her by Cornegay Lucas.
Smart decision again. Cornegay Lucas poking that ball out from behind and then trying to use the shot clock. And good attack there by Williams. She took a couple dribbles in to make it an easier shot.
Got the defender in the air with the head fake and then settled for the mid-range. 0 of 2. Smalls the rebound. Just needs something quick. Smalls. Got it! Timeout Towson to advance the basketball. What a big shot from Jewel Smalls. The inbound goes to Numba. She is fouled. 70.
Basketball.
3-point game. Timeout Delaware. So there. Seconds left. Smalls catch and shoot. No good. Towson on the road beats Delaware.
When you're a coach and you draw up that final play, what you're looking for is, do you get a good look at the basket? Sometimes they fall, sometimes they
Yo, we surely found a way to win. We're going to celebrate all of this shit, so I'm going to sit down. Okay, first of all, third quarter, Towson 23, Delaware 10. Sky Williams, 16 points.
Oh, this is a oh, yes. Right.
I know, but 13 points. Four steals. Kylie had the whole first half and finishes at 14 and 4. In 20-something minutes, y'all, and most importantly, MVP Gabby motherfucker. This is gonna be the game that I tell you. We're gonna be confident. We're gonna prepare to go into Drexel on Sunday. We will be in first place. I swear on everything. But we gotta be smart. We gotta be together. We gotta be strong. Some people didn't play that many minutes. You know what that means? You're gonna be fresh as shit on Sunday. So we gotta do everything you need to get ready. It is time to win. That needs to be the mentality. I appreciate the response. I ain't gonna get no more text, but that was some bullshit, y'all know what. Thank you for rallying behind us. Thank you for rallying behind me. Let's go bring this shit in, y'all. Together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Together!
The victory against Delaware symbolizes a huge barrier being broken for the players. It takes them up to 4th in the standings, a steady rise since their opening 2 defeats. The mood at practice reflects the results this week. 4 wins in a row is the best run of the season so far, and Coach Harper's job is not going unnoticed.
Yeah, I think it's pretty awesome to see what she's been able to do in year 1. Laura is hard on herself, and I think if you asked her the same question, she'd probably give you a much more critical answer. You've got a roster that another coach recruited that you're trying to work through. You're trying to build relationships, but it's a really tricky spot. And here we are in first year 1 of the Laura Harper era, and I think our league is still very much a toss-up. We're hosting the championship here in this gym on this floor, where we've played really, really well, and I think our crowd will come out to support her in the program. And a trip to the NCAA tournament is not outside the realm. I'm sure Laura's probably expecting it. I think the rest of us need to have more realistic expectations, but at the end of the day, she's in the conversation to win the league, and in year 1, I think that's pretty incredible.
6 more. 10.
For senior Ryan Evans, this will be her last opportunity to make the Nationals with Towson. She spent her freshman and sophomore years playing for East Carolina University before moving to Towson, and says her college career was never straightforward.
Yeah, that was actually a whirlwind too. My whole college career has been a whirlwind, but I committed to Coach Macy, who was like the ECU coach. I'm not sure how many years, but she was there. She was who recruited me. But that summer, before I was about to go, she decided to take a leave of absence or something like that. So then Coach Kim McNeil came, and we kind of like had a dinner, met up, and she decided to keep me on the team. So I stayed there for 2 years. I came in a freshman. I didn't really know anybody. My first freshman year, there's a lot of injury on the team, so I was able to start as a freshman. So I got I got a taste of how college basketball was right away, which I wasn't anticipating. And I think that really helped me out just along my career, just being able to get on the court freshman year.
And was that like a bigger step than you expected?
Oh, for sure. Some freshmen come in thinking they're gonna play. I'm one of those freshmen, I grew up watching Brenda Freeze, University of Maryland. I knew freshmen just didn't play. So I was under that, interpretation. But I came in, there were so many injuries, and somebody came in and had a heart problem like that. So it just opened up an opportunity for me to play. My dad was a professor at Maryland, so I spent a lot of my early childhood days there, attending all the games and things like that. I really enjoyed playing them.
Was it this year?
This year was the first year we played them. Yeah, it was kind of surreal. It was nice, growing up, I've always watched Brenda Freeze and all her players out in Maryland, so it was a cool experience, especially because we kind of hung tight with them, so.
Ryan has a motor like I've never seen in my life. She goes so hard after every rebound. I mean, it's next level speed and energy. Rodman just never got tired. There would be games where Rodman had 20 rebounds and 0 points and the team won. And I think that is just such a good example of who Ryan is. She's gonna put her body on the line every single time. I mean, the play is never over with Ryan. So when you think about Rodman and his semantics, I think people forgot how good he was at basketball and how hard he made it for the other team. Ryan's the same way.
With the past firmly behind them, Towson are looking to further extend their winning streak to continue fighting for the top spots. The players are coping well with the rising intensity, but their next game is the biggest test yet.
Back at home for Alumni Day, taking on Drexel, who you have faced already. It was a tight game, the first one, against the Dragons. How much, and I'm sure I won't get an actual answer here because we don't know who's watching, but how much do you change from seeing the way that Drexel game went and what the outcome ended up being? Do you change a lot, or how much is it self-scout? How much is it redoing the Drexel scout? What goes into that when you play a team for the second time?
It's always just reevaluation of what worked, what didn't. They obviously have the film, so I'm sure they'll be more prepared. I mean, our game plan was clear that game. We just did not want Washington to touch it, to kill us, we wanted other people to step up, and Grace O'Neal did. So, ultimately that's what happens when you kind of sell out in that way. And, moving on, I do think we need to make some adjustments, just as I'm sure they are doing the same.
And it is Alumni Day, opportunity for many past Tigers to come back. How important is that, just to have an Alumni Day to connect with those who built the foundation here, and also for you as a first-year head coach to get to meet some more alums?
Of course, Alumni Day is one of the most important days, just really giving tribute and appreciation to the past. Being a new coach, none of which the alum currently have played for me. So, I understand that that's a challenge too, of coming back. And I just want us to create a safe place, a home where they are all appreciated and welcomed here.
Coach Joe actually told me something so he's on the road yesterday, right? And we just beat Delaware. Right? So they have the nerve to say to him, man, if you didn't have those transfers, y'all would run through the conference. And I'm like, excuse my language, come here. Motherfuckers, we got 4 games in a row, we just beat your ass. You got that to say? I was really upset when I heard it, but I had to calm down. Because they know how I get. But this goes back to losing is hard, winning is harder. So when I have moments where I'm challenged, man, I'm not reaching them. Man, they're not listening. They don't understand. I'm just that's what winning takes. It's harder, and we're there. And that's why I fight so hard for y'all, because the disrespect will never stop for us. So if we can't respect each other in this locker room, who's going to respect us? Nobody. And we can beat the #1 team today on our floor. And if y'all don't believe it, let me know. But it's going to take everything we have. They are ready. But we got something for them. We got something for them. Because each and every single person in this locker room, we know what it takes when things get hard. We've proven to be down. We came back. We proved it versus Monmouth, versus Delaware. We know what it takes to win. Now it's us. Everyone in this circle right here. So if it doesn't motivate you, then nobody thinks that we're enough. Hopefully in this circle, we know and we believe that we will. Let's go. Here we go.
Drexel are vulnerable coming off their first loss of the season, losing last week to William & Mary. Today, Peanut is also being presented with recognition for passing 1,000 points in college basketball, a huge achievement. A Tigers victory today would leave the two teams with equal records. Today's winner will go second in the standings behind North Carolina A&T.
Back-to-back games, a victory for the Tigers last time out against Delaware. It was an ugly win, but Towson gets it no matter what. A W is a W. O'Neal in between the circles, still no score here early on. Washington driving against Nelson. Mid-range jumper is good. Drexel strikes first, 2-0 with 8 minutes to go in the first. Nelson gives Williams, corner three on the way, bang!
And that's the three I've been looking for from Sky Williams. She is more than capable of making those shots.
Washington gets rid of it to Hendrickson, 6 on the shot clock. Washington wide open, mid-range, good and one. A late foul comes in. Around the screen from Fulmore. Here's Williams, lets another three go. Got it again! Tied once more at 7.
On her back.
Washington fires a three. Gets it to go. Into the corner, Evans. Evans back to Nelson. Nelson fires the three straight away. Got it! 16-15, Dragons by 1. Rivera knocks down a 2, and Towson has their first lead of the day, 17-16. Into the corner, Williams for 3. Got it again! That's her third triple of the day. Hendrickson bounce to Washington along the baseline, pumps. Back outside, Hendrickson eyes a 3, fires a 3, good. It's under 3 to go here in the second. Towson by 1. Williams, her fourth 3, count it!
Well, thank you to whoever talked to Sky Williams, because the ball is going in the basket.
Hendrickson. Three from Washington is good, and they're going to review that one. 28-27. Shot clock is off. Towson will hold for the final shot. Here's Williams. Spins, drives, floater up, gets it to go. 32-29. Washington racing up, floater, no good. And we are headed to halftime. Tigers trailing 32-29. We'll step aside here on Flow Sports.
Down 3, okay? Good things that are happening. Quinn, 6 rebounds. Back that shit up. Clean up 3 rebounds. We gotta box out. Those are things that we have to really do, okay? Like, stay in it. We have more than 10. You gotta keep telling yourself that, okay? Here we go. Together on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Together. Numbers out to Johnston. Corner 3 on the way. Bang! Up to Washington. Washington by herself lays it up and in. 45-42. Shot clock is off now.
I was going to say, Keyshawn Washington has hit the deck a couple times.
Around the screen from Fulmore. Fires a 3. Good! And there's the buzzer as we head to the final frame. Anumba puts an exclamation point on it to cap off the third. Cornegay Lucas looks for a 3. That's good. Answers right back. 58-48.
And one thing I've been thinking about, Ben, is how Kylie's scoring for me is always like the icing on the cake. Like, she just takes the team to that next level because this team can win when she's not playing her best. But when she does play her best, it's like a whole new level.
Cornegay Lucas almost lost it on the inbound, gets it into Rivera, gets it right back, and then Washington commits the foul. Washington up to 27 points now as well. Second shot is good. Nelson will dribble it out, and that'll do it. The Tigers get revenge on the Dragons, and they hand Drexel their second straight loss. 70-61, Towson the winners here today in front of their alumni.
Credit our team. I'm just so proud of the performance, the grit, the effort. Back-to-back really big wins for our program. I think the biggest thing is that we're continuing to improve, and there's even still areas and avenues of growth for us. But at the end of the day, a conference win versus Drexel, a conference win versus Delaware, any conference win at this point is important, and we're just grateful to be in this position. So proud of Sky for just being consistent these past two games. She really was the difference maker in, this swing, and, to come off the last swing, she was in foul trouble early. It's just nice to see her come back and be Sky.
Now, I know this, obviously, as the guardians, this doesn't make sense, right? Because everybody's collapsing on the middle of the floor. What they want more than anything when they call this set is for us to fall asleep and for them to drive baseline because everybody's lifted up. So that's why it's so important that we force everybody's middle on this. So she'll come off middle. We'll hit here. Reverse one more time. You'll cut opposite. You'll cut opposite. You'll run into the ball screen on that side. And then you're flashing on that.
I think the best opportunity I ever took was transferring here to Towson. I think just me in terms of personal growth, that transfer, it was kind of tough. My dad had passed away, which is the reason why I kind of wanted to get closer to home. But, that decision was entirely mine. Like, I didn't really even discuss a whole bunch of things with my mom. I kind of just told her that I was going to come home. I was going to come closer to home. But when I first came here, I played for Coach Rich, and I had a really close personal relationship with Coach Zach. So when they came, it just felt like the perfect fit. And then when Coach Harper came, we kind of bonded, so I decided to stay. And I wouldn't change any of my experiences for anything. I think all of them, lead to, so much character growth and my growth in the game too, so.
The most challenging thing is teaching culture. And I think Ryan is a natural born leader. Credit her when unanimously the team selects her as captain back in the summer. So knowing that we had that vocal leader, that person's gonna go hard every single time, that comes up every day, just excited to be here. It was a blessing to know that Ryan Evans was still here.
It's a great feeling just to know that your peers, look up to you, they respect, how you carry yourself on and off the court, and they chose me to lead them. So, I'm appreciative of that every day.
A great week for the team. 2 for 2 against 2 of the conference's best teams. Within the great team performances, though, one player stood out this week. Sky Williams has reached full speed this season after reaching game highs for points against Delaware and Drexel.
After 2 seasons coming off the bench, Sky Williams has moved into the starting lineup for Coach Laura Harper and has been a consistent performer all season. She scored a season-high 19 points against number 14 Maryland, and after 14 games ranks in the top 3 on the team in scoring, assists, steals, minutes played, field goal percentage, and free throw percentage.
We like to call her the silent assassin because she's very much, a woman of few words, but the way she plays, her intensity, her ability to just key in on her job, shooting 50% from the field as a guard. I've never coached a player that have shot the ball 50%.
Just being more confident in myself. Like Coach told me to shoot the ball and just be more confident. And as a team altogether, I feel like we're putting the pieces together to become better as we go throughout the season.
She's such a perfectionist, which naturally you see that. So from her percentage, it shows. She's so selective about the shots that she takes, to the point where she psychs herself out to take too many shots because she doesn't want to miss. And now we're to the point, Sky, you're hurting the team by not shooting. The numbers and the analytics show. So if you don't take open shots, then you're just going to come out. She's like, she does this, okay.
Off the court, the Quiet Williams is a 3.0 student who is set to graduate this spring with a fine arts degree, concentrating in graphic design. A talented artist, she began drawing as a senior in high school and has used art as her voice to express thoughts and feelings.
Just shows my creativity and how I am. It took a lot of practice. I kind of stopped during my freshman year of college and then started again during COVID. And then I painted one of my Joker ones and I was like, that looks really good. So I continued to paint.
I knew she designed sneakers. So that was when I went into her room for some recruiting trips. When I saw her room first, I was like, oh, we need to show her room all the time because she has this art, she has her shoes. I'm looking at just the detail and how clean she is. This person, look at this.
Honestly, I just kind of freehanded, whatever comes to mind, I just put it on the canvas and we go from there.
Harper was so impressed with the quality of Williams' work, she asked the guard to create a mural for the women's basketball suite inside the Towson Center.
Yeah, I was actually excited to do it. I mean, it was something new because I never painted a canvas that big. So I was kind of nervous at first, but just being confident in my art, and then it turned out great.
When you have players that have skills, you want them to be showcased. And she is a big part of the reason why we're successful. She's a big part of Towson, and something like this that she doesn't advocate for herself. Everything that she is poured into her art.
I'm more of a cartoon artist, so I wanted to do a cartoon tiger instead of a realistic one. And then I used the words energy, effort, attitude, because that's what Coach Harper always, puts in us as we practice. So I wanted to add that on there. Then of course the Towson sign to kind of represent the school.
The streak is up to 6. After dispatching Northeastern last night in Boston, everyone is up early for the drive down to Long Island. However, some green complications with the team's transport has left the team with nowhere to go. As the clock ticks, preparation time gets smaller, recovery time washes away, personal time is an afterthought. A new bus arrives after 7 hours and embarks on its 4-hour trip to Stony Brook, New York. Though every team experiences setbacks, getting the most out of the team tomorrow is now a bigger issue than expected for Coach Harper after the delays in Boston. They have the chance to move into second place tomorrow, despite their early season stumble. A loss, however, could see them fall down to 5th, providing other results fall against them. Despite the complications, the team are ready for the game. Stony Brook's identical record to Towson is a good indicator that the girls are in for a tough fight. The Tigers know that Stony Brook are also seeing this game exactly for what it is, a chance to make a statement going forward this campaign.
Possession by possession, possession by possession. We got to stay firm and know that we are prepared, we are ready, we know exactly what to take, okay? Here we go, y'all. Get some more shots. Let's go, right?
Towson are down 4 going into halftime, but are staying competitive with their opponents. The third quarter brings the pace, with Pat and Quinn quickly making double figures and firing Towson into the lead. Despite Towson's 26-point quarter, Stony Brook managed to keep up and continue their form in the final 10, scoring a further 25 points. Towson continued to fight, but with 7 minutes left, Stony Brook are unstoppable, 63% across the fourth. Towson shot just 25. After 6 in a row, the Tigers' victory streak comes to an end, and in the CAA this season, slip-ups will be taken advantage of. Northeastern have the chance to push Towson out of the top 4, should they pull off an upset against Drexel. A top 4 seed will be important come the end of the season. Seeds 1 to 4 are fast-tracked into the third round of the conference tournament after 5 of the 13 teams have already been eliminated. If the top seed is unattainable, top 4 is the next best thing.
Told y'all this was the toughest fucking stretch that we had to face as a team, right? One thing I can say, I think everyone cheered for each other from the start to the end of the game. I thought we were good teammates. I thought we had great effort. Now we dug ourselves in a little bit of a hole within the conference. We don't get our heads down right now, okay? Because what happens when you get your heads down, then it's 1 becomes 2, okay? We don't start placing blame. We didn't play well, they played great. And sometimes that happens. But what I will say, as far as rebounding is concerned, we just really didn't get the job done. But now the most important thing is to get healthy, to get home, and to be hungry to be ready for Delaware, okay? After Delaware, we have another bye. It's game by game. It's game by game. We can't be emotional about this. It's over. I will say this just so you guys know. We do have them back at our house, right? And I will say, on 2 games, it's point differential, right? So we got to try to blast their fucking brains out when we see them again. Okay? It's a good thing. Hopefully Lex will get better. We're still pretty whole as a team. We got to get home, get healthy, and get ready for Delaware. Here we go. Bring it in.
Here we go.
Together on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Welcome back. Long trip up north, but back here in Tigertown, home game on the horizon. But first, looking at this past weekend, 12-8, 6-3 in the CAA. You split this weekend, beating Northeastern, falling to Stony Brook. 13 three-pointers as a team. That three-point shooting up into the Northeastern game was hot. Coming into that game, it stayed. What do you attribute that to? And a great just long-distance performance from the squad again.
Every Tuesday is a shooting practice for us, so we're intentional about the shots that we're taking and making sure we're getting game shots so we have confidence. Every single time you catch it, you should be shot ready.
How would you characterize Pat's role on this team? It seems like when she comes in, it's an immediate injection of energy. She can get to the rim, she can score from wherever. How do you characterize it? It's like a Swiss Army knife almost. It seems like she can do it all.
The reason why she's so important and so special is just her tenacious will. She's gonna just refuse to be denied, and she's gonna give max effort, similar to Kylie. You know, it's interesting when the team voted on who are the 2 hardest workers on the team. It's Kylie voted for Pat, and Pat said Kylie, and everyone else, kind of was in the mix.
And you have your next opportunity Friday here back at home, thankfully inside CQ 7 o'clock against Delaware. Just played Delaware, defeating the Blue Hens at the Bob 69-66. It was a gritty win. You've had a handful of those throughout non-conference and conference play.
Ultimately, there's a will to win that we have to find and be ready to exert.
It's time for the daily Kylie Cornegay-Lucas segment. Another double-double for her, 12 and 12. She knows teams are preparing for her. Teams are having to game plan for her, and she's still able to have a double-double almost any given night.
She's pretty much leading us in points, rebounds, blocks, steals, and assists. It just says to who she is as a player and, even more so who she is as a person from a work ethic standpoint. We're just extremely proud of her growth and development.